Back in February of 2016, the Amiga community lost one of its original founding fathers, Dave Needle. A key designer of the Amiga, he also co-created the Atari Lynx and 3DO. He was a giant in the computer engineering world. I remember when he passed that I read everything I could get my hands on to soak up in his life and accomplishments. Posts were made across the web by friends and colleagues far and wide. With them, many photos were shared of Needle and his legendary Amiga, which I studied closely. According to Needle, in a short video made in 2015 celebrating the Amiga's 30th birthday, his Amiga was, quote, serial number 1.
I love it. I just love it. And this is serial number 1. It's 30 years old. It still works just fine.
Knowing his Amiga was the first to roll off the production line of the Sanyo factory in Japan was enough to catch anyone's breath. Having it sport an Amiga 1070 monitor only heightened the aesthetic appeal. Looking more closely, it seemed like his little A1010 floppy drive was a pre-retail release too. It didn't have a checkmark badge, but an embossed Commodore logo into glossy plastic, just like the original development machines. And the groovy wooden stand Needle made to allow his A1K to go vertical like a tower always makes me smile too. I never fully understood the need to go that route, but loved his perpetual ingenuity. Hey, if Dave wanted his Amiga to go vertical, who was going to tell him he's wrong, Anyone? I didn't think so. But what always caught my eye was the Boing ball badge on his Amiga, where the typical rainbow checkmark was supposed to be. I recently contacted Commodore legend Dave Haney to learn the history of the Boing ball badges and why they were created in the first place. According to Haney, they were made for the Amiga 1000, floppy drives, monitors, and the A1000 keyboard. The Boing labels were planned as the official logo. Then, the marketing department came up with the rainbow checkmark. In other words, there were tons of badges ready and waiting for the first Amigas to roll off the factory line. But Commodore marketing determined that all computers in the 80s had to have rainbow-colored logos, especially a computer with as much graphical firepower as an Amiga, right? With the original Boing Ball case badges already having gone through a production run, some of the original Amiga and Commodore folks scooped up what was then deemed obsolete and ready for the dumpster. And naturally, Dave Needle's machine sported one right smack on the front. I've always felt it was a kind of rebel yell of pride. It was an emblem of when Amiga was its greatest and its potential the most limitless. A time when the Amiga could make people gasp with shock and delight. Soon after Needle's passing, I started to look around for some of those badges and eventually tripped over one of them on eBay purely out of luck. This would have been about 5 or 6 years ago. My recollection is the seller had met Dave Haney at an event many years ago and walked away with some in the exchange. He sold me one for $25 shipped, and to my utter astonishment, he sent me 3. Those days seem long gone, especially for something this hard to come by nowadays, but I've never forgotten that incredible act of kindness and generosity. And yet even then I told myself I wouldn't try to swap badges on my daily A1K unless I found a badge for its paired 1080 monitor too. I didn't have a 1070 like Dave Needle, but waiting for a complete set felt right to me as an excuse. Procrastination is real, y'all. Suddenly this year, a friend of mine came to possess such a monitor badge and let me buy it off of him. Over 5 years of searching, quest complete. I started by using various plastic and metal tools, as well as light heat to remove the old badges. Then I simply put the new shiny one right in place of the old crusty whoop. That's not the right one. Just kidding, guys, just kidding. I took special care to not harm any of my original checkmark badges in case I ever decided to go back to stock. And after very careful deliberation, I managed to swap out my Amiga 1000 case badge, keyboard badge, and ultimately, the 1080 monitor badge. Until this project, I didn't realize that the A1010 floppy disk drive was actually smaller than all of the others. And of course, I didn't recognize this fact until after I'd removed the original checkmark. Whoops! Oh well, no harm, no foul. I just put it back where I found it. Maybe I'll find one of those smaller floppy badges someday if they actually exist. You never know. In the end, I got it all together in one nice glorious package. Cheers to the original Amiga crew, Dale Luck and RJ Michael's ingenious Boing Ball demo, and the Amiga computer in all of its incarnations. You've left a mark on so many of us. And now, time to stop staring at the machine and actually put it to good use. You know what I mean? That's honestly the best part about it all. Only the Amiga makes it possible, guys. And remember, keep that Amiga love flowing. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.